Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol at Big Cat Rescue, and happy Mother's Day. Today's coordinator report is from Sue Massinio, who says, "Can I just say, we have the best volunteers in the world. What an awesome team. We had a lot of people come in today to help take care of the cats and the sanctuary. So, here we go. Lauren handed out AM meds, and Rich handed out AM supplements. Feeding was done by MC, Mary J., Kristen, Babs, Lacey, Amanda, Maureen, Andrew, and Beth Ann. Kristen, Amanda, and Andrew all got feeding sign-offs. Cleaning was done by Julie, June, Melissa, Kristen, Rich, Beth Ann, Matt, and Andrew. Maureen, Babs, Mary J., and Lacey cleaned, raked, trimmed, and grass-seeded Simba the hybrid's back 2 bubbles of his enclosure. Fred, Dylan, Bridget, Amanda, Christine, Julia, Jeffrey, Elisa, and Lisa raked, trimmed palmettos, weed-eated, and trimmed trees in the large leopard/jaguar area. Becky and I, along with Amanda, Dylan, Fred, Kristen, Andrew, June, and Julie, filled and dumped over 100 full buckets of asphalt in the leopard jaguar area to cover the roots and level the ground. The asphalt's on the outside of the cages. Cats get to walk on soft dirt. Then Fred, Andrew, Amanda, Julie, Mary J., Becky, and June all worked together to get food prep done. The beautiful day was topped off with some enrichment and operant sign-offs and some cat time. Thank you to all who came in and worked so hard today. And that's again from Sue Massinio. And then I had a little entry from my diary from yesterday about heart palpitations or panic attack. Whatever it was the worst one I've had since running my VW Rabbit off the road in the 80s. I wondered, so I went to Google and got this. The irregular heartbeat, known as atrial fibrillation, AFib, a physical disorder, shares some symptoms with a panic attack, an emotional problem, said John Day, MD, Director of Heart Rhythm Services at Intermountain Medical Center in Salt Lake City. Pounding in your chest, difficulty breathing, chest pain or discomfort, and feeling dizzy or lightheaded are panic attack symptoms that overlap with AFib symptoms. Sudden onset is another. My Apple Watch has a monitor, so I scrolled back to yesterday to see what it said, and there's just a big gap with about 108 on either side of it. My normal heart rate is about 55 to 65 beats per minute. I know it's ridiculously low, but there have been daily spikes from 115 to 121. All of the hateful calls, emails, posts from the Tiger King misogynistic portrayal of me has had an impact of more than I've let on, I guess. And that's the sound of people lurking at our front gate. Yesterday, I was biking the trail home and had already been spotted by one couple who yelled out to me, but they had seemed friendly, and I was probably about 15 minutes away from them when my eyes started to roll back in my head, such that I couldn't keep them on the ground ahead of me and had to veer off into the grass to keep from running into the masses on the trail. Since the county went into lockdown, the trail has been just a sea of people, but that's been true on the sidewalks on Sheldon Road, too, and there's less opportunities on the road to get around them on a bike. Most of my heart palpitations pass within mere seconds. A supraventricular tachycardia, let's just call that an SVT, can make the heart beat as much as 150 to 250 times a minute, but typically only lasts 5 seconds. Yesterday, my heart was heaving so hard and fast that I thought surely I would drop off the bike into the dirt because I couldn't breathe and I felt so dizzy and sick, but it just wouldn't stop. I know that in a crisis, a second can seem like an eternity, but I was aware of people passing, so time was passing and it just would not let up. All I could think of was that I just couldn't die and leave Jamie and Howie holding the mess that the sanctuary was in due to COVID-19 and all of the maniacal crazies that came out from under their rocks all over the world to worship Joe Schreibvogel for trying to kill me for speaking out against animal abuse. No, I had to slow my breathing and my heart before it exploded. I kept trying to take deep, long breaths, but my chest was so tight. I kept trying to calm my heart, but it just pounded so hard that it was deafening in my ears. In time, it passed, and I pedaled a few feet and then stopped again. I did this a couple more times to be sure I could stay upright before heading back onto the pavement. I was only 150 feet or so from where I'd have to turn onto the sidewalk on Sheldon Road, and passing out there could toss me right in front of a car. I had some cookies on Wednesday and Thursday, but no sugar since then, so I don't know what set this off 2 days later. People just won't let up. In 1984 or 1985, I remember it was Valentine's Day, and Mike had given me a heart-filled box of chocolates, and I'd eaten most of the box at a single sitting. I have great willpower in the face of everything but chocolate. I believe that my heart palpitations seemed to coincide with sugar due to my hypoglycemia. I was traveling westbound on Gun Highway in my Volkswagen Rabbit and was alone in the car. It was the only car I've ever had to this day that was new when I got it. I felt the heart flutter come on and had time to pull off into a grassy field. I usually feel queasy, dizzy, and then when the heart palpitations start, they drop me to the ground. Since I was sitting, my head just fell over onto the steering wheel. These usually passed quickly, but this one didn't. I couldn't slow my breathing or my heart enough to lift my head. I must have been like that for a long time because it was long enough for someone to call a fire truck and for them to arrive and start pounding on my window asking if I was okay. When they started to talk about smashing out the windows, I knew I had to give them some sign that I was okay to stop them. It took every bit of strength I could muster to lift a hand to the window and dismissively motion them to stop. Once my hand was on the window, I was able to pull my head over, but I couldn't crank the window down. Instead, I just pulled the latch to fall out of the ground where I told them, "I'm fine, I'm fine." The photo above, oh, this was a photo that I had in my diary that you won't see here. And we got this today. Today we got a copy of an appeal from Congressman Jim McGovern, and he's the chairman of the House Rules Committee, and it had this subject line, a little TV icon, and it says, "Baskin you to sign the petition." I thought that was funny. In the body of the email, he says, "We have an ineffective hodgepodge of state-by-state laws that doesn't protect anyone, human or otherwise. We must end the private ownership of big cats. It's dangerous to owners and communities. It's abominably cruel to the cats." And then he asks readers to sign his petition. If you go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Carol Baskin, or maybe Carol.Baskin, you'll find that petition, and it would be great if you could sign it. You can see updates like these every day at bigcatrescue.org.